I'm living what I see as a normal life now that I couldn't do before, because before the transplant there was no future. There was no planning for things in the future. Now I'm fed up planning things. You know? That's not true. I'm not fed up. It's lovely to be able to look to the future and see it in a happy way rather than in not knowing what's going to happen. One of the first things that I noticed, even though the transplant was never going to turn my condition around, it's certainly given me my cognition back. I can think clearly. I still get stuck looking for words, but everybody does. You know, you don't have to have MS to get stuck looking for a word. But the cognition, especially with the post office part, I think a lot clearer, which is good, especially for my customers. Simon was over one day and he was watching me walk about in the shop with my rollator, and he said, wouldn't it be better to have a wheelchair in here? And I never thought of it. I just never thought that I couldn't get my rollator in behind the counter because of the wrought iron grill that was here. And he just said, well, you could take that away. And I've never looked back since, because now that I've got the wheelchair in here, it's great. And I can be here on my own. I can be almost independent, apart from obviously stacking shelves or brushing the floor, which June does for me. So, yeah. Because now when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to think, am I going to be able to walk? You know, I take it for granted now that I'm going to be able to walk. I can probably count on one hand the amount of times that my sister or family have had to help me get into the car since I came back from Mexico. And that's 2 years, you know, so whereas before it was every day. And that is the huge difference.
We did it basically to halt the progression of the MS, which it has done. She's not got worse at all since we've had it done. She had minor improvements, sort of sensation in her feet came back, which, you know, when you can move your toes, helps you balance, so that made a big difference for her. 2 years ago, if you said 6 years ago, what would you tell yourself? I'd say get on and do it now. Aileen spent 2-3 years looking into it before we did it, and so, you know, there might have been, her legs might have not been quite as bad as they are at the moment had we got it done sooner, but yeah, she's fine as she is. Aileen and myself have been married for 25 years. We're not just an unmarried couple, you know, we're best friends. We've been through so much together. So yeah, support is massive. I try and do as much as I can for Aileen just to save her energy, because her energy level, it's like that old tablet she's given me. The battery doesn't last very long, and she's the same. So the more I can do, you know, whether it's changing the bed, whether it's doing the hoovering, cooking, washing, just basically do as much as I possibly can.
In the last 2 years since the transplant, I should have been 6 months in recovery. I was back to work in 3 months. I saw a little bit of improvement in my balance, my strength, my fatigue. I completely lost my intolerance to heat. I can sit out in the sun now, and I couldn't do that before the transplant. I haven't actually been back to my neurologist, so I haven't had an MRI to say for sure that I've had no progression. But there's nobody knows your body better than yourself, and I can definitely say I am not getting worse. A lot of my disability it happened in the 2 years before the transplant. I did get a lot worse in those 2 years, so if I could tell myself something, then it would have been to get it, don't be afraid, get it done sooner. But obviously sometimes being afraid is good, because you don't jump into things. So, but definitely, now knowing what I know now, I would tell my 2018 self, I should have got it done sooner. I'm too far into the condition, really. I've had it too long to see any huge improvements, but the improvements I've had have allowed me just to have a better outlook on life. I saw no future for me, for my relationship with Simon. It was already taking its toll. So having the transplant, I'll always remember that Dr. Ruiz said that recovery is 30% positivity, and I've been nothing but positive. I don't even think about what if I get worse anymore, which was a question that I asked myself every day, and Simon no doubt probably asked himself that as well. What happens if I get worse? I'm not getting worse.
I don't want to even think about what condition you might be in now had we not done it.
It's been such a huge part of the last few years, the fundraising before, and then after the transplant. It's been such a huge part that it's difficult to think outside of what things were like before that. Our life is full of fun.
It is full of fun.
Yeah.
We have a laugh. We make fun of each other. I mean, I make quite a bit of fun of Aileen with a disability, but it's all done in jest, and it's what gets us through the day.
I just run him over with my wheelchair.
Yeah, we just have a laugh. We have a giggle,
which we always did. We did that before, but now it's really good. It really helps to laugh about my condition, about our lives, because it's like I've said before, positivity, having a laugh. It's normal. It's good.
It is.
Sometimes it's just all you need, really, to get through things. So.
A typical weekend is the weather like we've got at the moment, which is most unpleasant. But if it's a nice weekend, we'll sit outside and eat.
In the garden.
And we'll just literally sit outside and enjoy the sunshine.
Which
now that Aileen can.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Our biggest plan for the future will to actually be to build our own house, because this house that we live in here is courtesy of my job. So yes, it would be very nice to build our own house and retire.
I don't know if I'll retire. I've just got into working again, so I might just enjoy that for a little while longer.
Yeah.
And we're not retiring age.
No.
Well, you're closer to it than I am.